Hi, this is Andy S, and today I want to share with you a kind of a blueprint or a framework, or call it whatever you want, just a way to set yourself off on the road to financial freedom. So if you're working at the moment, this is for you. If you've already got a business, this could be for you as well. But if you're just looking at getting into business and you want to start and you don't know where to start or how to structure it or how to make the most of the money that you could make, or what happens when you start making money, then this should hopefully be for you. So I'm just gonna squiggle it out from here. Please forgive my terrible writing. So here we are at the start. So first question is, do you have a job? Because no matter what you do, no matter what you start, you're going to need some money to start it. There is no get rich quick schemes. There is no magic go and sit on a beach. So, do you have a job? Yes or no? So if you don't have a job, first job to do, get a job. Easy, eh? It's going to be as amazing as this all the way through. So you've got a job. Now you got to start planning for your future. So to start with, you got to try and set away 20% of your income just to start with. And you want to open yourself up. I use Hargreaves Lansdown. So this either can be a SIP, self-investing pension pot, or a ISA maybe that you can trade with. So Hargreaves Lansdown do a SIP or an ISA, or you can use anyone you want. So you're going to start here. You've got a job. Assuming you've got a job, 20% goes straight into your Hargreaves Lansdown SIP or your ISA. You can put up to 20 grand a year into your ISA. You put as much as you want into your SIP, and later on you can borrow against the SIP and put it into like commercial property or whatever you want. But for now, you can just be putting 20% in. You're going to stick it into that account, and you're going to start using this money to invest in stocks and shares. And then we're going to move on to the next step after that. So the next question is, can you trade? Or maybe not even trade, but invest. So can you invest? Should probably type this out. So no, never done it before. Or yes. If you know how to trade and invest, what to look for. I mean, now is an amazing time. Things have gotten a bit of a pullback at the moment. So we're in February 23 at the moment. Just things are on a bit of a pullback. But I think pretty soon things are going to drop off a cliff. Everything's going to be amazingly low. And that is the time now to start making some investments which will make some serious returns in the future. So your job now should be get as much cash as you can into your ISA, into your SIP, get it ready to invest when the lows come. That can be either through like a SIP or ISA, or if you want to be a bit more risky, maybe a small part of that into Bitcoin, which should be a lot higher returns but a lot more risk. So maybe do like say 80% into here, and maybe 20%, which is a little bit risky still, into some kind of Bitcoin, altcoins, Ethereum, something like that. So if you don't know how to trade, then there's loads of information out there. I sign up to I paid member of quite a few different like trading clubs or business coaching mentoring programs. So if you don't, there's one. There's a guy called Siam Kid. Check him out on YouTube. You can sign up to a course with him. I'm paying for a course with him. I've been member for a while. I don't get any affiliate links or anything like that. This is just literally who I followed and who I believe has got a far more in-depth knowledge than I have. So Simon Keen on YouTube. If you want to and you've got more money, then you can go on and pay for one of his trading courses. I think I pay £500 a month at the moment for that, which seems like a lot, but honestly, when the lows come in and we start buying the right stuff, I imagine we'll double our pot pretty quick, and then it'll be long-term hodling with a bit of in and out. But so that's for the long term. But for now, if you don't know how to trade, I'll show you some basics. But if you want to learn properly, then this is the guy you need to go and see. So if you can trade, got an idea of investing, basic ideas of investing, then that's great. So you're just using your 20% of your wage going into your ISA or your SIP, and you're just investing on the lows on like the main FANG TM stocks like your Google's, Meta, Tesla. Nvidia's a great one at the moment for the AI, because all the processing power will be coming from Nvidia graphic cards, or a large percentage. And let's have a quick look actually while we're on here. So I've got, these are just some of the main ones: Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon, Coinbase is on a rip at the moment. That's if you want to get some exposure to Bitcoin and digital currencies, then Coinbase is one of the exchanges that you can actually trade on within your ISA or SIP. I can do another video if you want to know a bit more about this. I mean, there's a basic rule that I'll just show you the one thing that I think is the most important thing when investing. So you want to be on, this is tradingview.com. So you want to be on the daily charts. So always make sure you're looking at the bigger picture. You don't want to be in down to the hourlies or anything like that. But this is Tesla stock, going all the way back like 2018 and before, all the way back there. So this is the one rule that I wish I knew a long time ago, and it's called base support. And the lesson is, if base support gets breached and you're holding that stock, then you get out. So let's say you're in Tesla, you bought it wherever, somewhere around here. Once you've got a few points which are on the same support level, so you draw a line on the base here. So now you've got, this is your base support. So you buy in anywhere, this is going up. Once you've got a good few touch points like this where it's been away from the line and back down, now you can get a line to get your base support. And then here didn't quite hit it, but then here it definitely did. This is a strong support level. Even if you got in here and you just stuck to this, you could get out again up here, which would be slightly more, but not a great deal. So the rule is, whenever you get in, you just monitor this thing, you don't touch it, just monitor it going up and down, up and down. As soon as you get this here, which is a break of base support, even if it fakes into it and ends up going away, the rule is, if it breaks this support level, this fine line isn't like super accurate, it's like an area. So if this gets broken, then you sell your shares, you get out of that stock, and then you wait to confirm, as we are doing now. This is now a downwards trend, so you are joining up these support levels. So this is now your resistance level, so the price is hitting into it, going down, hitting into it. You've created this resistance level. So now what we're waiting for is either this, the price breaks through the resistance, usually goes up and then comes down and goes away again, and at which point, as soon as it broke through and retested, you'd get in there, and then you do the same thing again. This would be going up, then you'd put your support level in, and then if that price ever comes down your base support and breaks it, then you sell. That's the most basic rule for investing if you don't know anything else. But obviously follow Siam and you'll get a lot more in-depth information. And then you've also got the higher time frames here. So if you're saying, oh, it's come all the way down here, I could have got in around here, but you're going to tell me to wait up here. We don't have to. We've got another base support here, which is not as strong, but still a base support. It's got a couple of all these touch points here, one here. So this would be another zone. So you could say, okay, if this level comes down to test around here again, then anywhere around here, I'm going to be buying it up. If the price comes down, then I'm going to sell it straight away and probably break even, maybe a tiny loss. But if this is a good zone, because it could just bounce off here and start going up again. Then you've got this other resistance level, and then it could hit into that and go down. So you could buy it here, wait to go into there, sell it to be on the safe side, and it'll either come down, you can get back in, or it'll break through, and you go, oh crap, I should have got some more money, and it goes down again, you just get back in again, hopefully it goes up again. But you obviously you can do this with all the different stocks. Same rule for any of them. So this is Tesla, Nvidia. Got the same thing for Nvidia. So we've also got these levels as well to look at, not just the base support and resistance. Also got key levels where they're touching and reacted off many times. This is currently broke out. If it came down again, I've also got a support resistance within. We've got this support resistance. No, sorry, this support line, this base support here, this base support there. So you've got supports within supports, and if you go down into lower time frames, you can go more and more detail. But for now, if you're just starting out and you don't know what you're doing, stay on the daily time frame. You just making these base supports. Find when it comes back here. Comes back to this line, you can buy. If it breaks the line, sell it straight away. Comes back to this line, buy. If it goes up again, fantastic. Wait for the next level where it's likely to react from. Maybe this level here, this horizontal level, the top here, the all-time high. Definitely time to be selling around about there, because it's likely to come back down again. Even if it comes down a little bit, then carry on going. Get out on the tops. There we go. If you've got more detail about that, just go into watch Siam Kid on YouTube, or just send me a message and I'll gladly help you out as much as I can. So that is the basic of investing, and as long as you're doing it, that's the main thing. Doesn't really matter, as long as you're putting money in the market at more or less the right times and leaving it for the long term, like 5-10 years, then that'll grow very nicely. And then as that money is accumulating in your H&L account here, that then gives you funds to reinvest into future projects. So the next thing I found, I've got 4 businesses now, 4 limited companies. I've made more money from the companies than I have from anything else, like property going up or anything like that. The actual businesses and being able to buy assets, trade assets, like even like machinery. One of our businesses has got shredders, granulation lines, all that kind of stuff. We got to a point where we didn't need that machinery anymore, but we've been paying off the finance on it for years, and then all of a sudden we've got equity in it. So then you've got a big chunk of money that you can reinvest into either different machinery, maybe into property, anything else like that. So you've got a job, you're putting 20% of your money into this pot here. The earlier you can do this in your life, I didn't really start business till I was 30, I'm 45 this month, so the earlier you can do it the better. But it doesn't really matter as well, as long as you're doing it, it doesn't really matter. I think everyone goes on about KFC, the Colonel. He got his retirement check from the government when he was like in his 60s, and he thought, you know what, this isn't enough money for me to live on, and I go and start a business, and he started KFC. Obviously that's like a not very often that happens, but you get the idea. It doesn't matter how old you are. So you've got a job, you put money into here, you're investing it away nicely, this is growing, you feel amazing, gives you confidence to do more things. So while you're doing this, the other thing you want to do is start yourself a business. Doesn't have to be a massive business, doesn't have to be a limited company, doesn't have to be £1 million a year, just something that's going to create extra income for you and also give you the ability to use some of the assets within the business. So start business, start business. Now that could be anything. There's loads of different things you can do. We'll cover that in a minute. I'll come back to that. But what I've tried to do is, I've got one business here, which is a recycling business. It's tires, recycles tires. I literally started that with an old van. When I lived at my parents, got an old transit van. Went out collecting tires, charged people like 50p to get rid of the tire, and I went and moved them onto a different place, and they charged me 25p. And I literally did that, driving around, finding customers. Built it up. Now that business is doing, I think it did 1.2 million last year. And from that, I've got it allows me to have a nice car, which is what's a D-Max pickup truck, because it's commercial use, so it has to be able to hold a ton. So I've got a nice truck for free. It pays the mortgage on my house. My wife works there part-time, so she gets a wage. I get a wage. Get healthcare, which as you're getting older is more and more important. And that's pay for all the that's kind of like a lifestyle business in a way. That's paying for everything I need to survive. On my truck pays, the company pays for all the diesel and the fuel and everything. Get the truck, the house, the wages. So that's business number one. And then I've got a property business which holds zero property, but it's just a limited company, holding company. Come back to that in a minute. That's going to come into play soon. And then I've got another company that sells like rubber products, which is kind of a spin-off from the tires, but it's a different, separate, limited company. I want to keep these separate, so if one of them starts doing really well, we can then use. We could have a sell at one of those businesses, and that could free up a chunk of cash, maybe 100, 200,000. That could go back into the Hargreaves Lansdowne, trade it again, build it up. And you can, at the moment, you can make good money trading these. I did some Tesla shares. I only bought £2,000 worth of shares, and then over the course of about a week or two, went up 40%. Sold it out for like £800 profit. But if you're talking bigger money, you're talking, you've got 100,000 in there, then you can make a wage in it. You can cover the wage in a year quite easily. So this one is rubber products business. This was a kind of it was kind of like a project, because I wanted to prove. I set myself a little task called Project Bentley, and that I thought I wanted to build a business, prove to myself I could build a business, make 40 grand, and then buy a Bentley with it to prove that it can be done quite easily. Started this in 2019. Didn't put much money into it, just messing around at the time. Did have the money I did use to start it, which might have been a couple of grand, came from AC Tires, which is again another reason why you need a business, because you've got one business spitting out a bit of money, then you can go, okay, this is doing all right, but actually I want to do something else. Or this, actually another reason I wanted to do that was this was struggling a bit at the time, and I was a bit worried about it, and thought, if this goes under, then I'll lose my truck, my home, wages, healthcare, all goes. I'm a bit over reliant on this business, so let's get another one which is slightly separate. This was online retail, this is a services business to garages and stuff. So we set this up in 2019. I think we did about 50 grand in the first year, and then this does about 200, maybe couple hundred grand. I did incorporate that at one point back into AC Tires to boost profits on here, or pulled it back out again recently, so it's on its own again. So if I want to, I can sell that, but I've got another plan for that, but I'll tell you in a minute. So that's doing, say, 150k a year, something like that, say. And we've got a new business I've just started in November 22. It's another online retail business. And we've got the property company just sat here with 0 houses. Sad times. We were going to start getting into that before COVID, and then we didn't because there was nothing around. So the idea is, this all looks like a bit crazy starting all these businesses, but I started this one in 2008. I think I probably started this around 2018 when I was looking at getting into property. This one was 2019 and this one was 2022, so it's not like I've just dived in and done them all. But the other good thing is, so what we can start doing now, you've started a business, and we'll get to like what type of business. I don't know how to start a business and all that kind of stuff. We'll get to that later, but just a quick recap. You've got 20% going into your trading pot. You've still got your job. You're doing a sideline business that you're going to start building up slowly on the sidelines. Eventually that'll cover your wage, and then, or you can get someone to run it and build it up that way. You can still have your job if you enjoy your job. But any profits out of here, you can get dividends that go back to you, or so you can pay yourself what I pay myself about £1,000 a month, like most directors do. Oops, £1,000 a month wage, and then dividends go paid on top of out the profits from this business, which is more tax efficient. And once you've got profits that you don't want to be taken out, you don't need to take them out. You can then push your profits from your business one with this fantastic arrow. This can start building up your pension pot, so you can put at least up to 20 grand into an ISA, maybe in dividends. That says dividends. And then you've also got your SIP as well, so you can put money into your SIP part of it, because within your HL account you can have an ISA in there, a SIP in there, fund and share account, all different things. So this company now is giving you your transport, your house, your wages, your healthcare, and it's also giving you a pension, and dividends are getting saved all into this trading account or investment account. Sorry, not trading. I've done trading, but I think I'm better at investing than trading because you can lose more money trading. So the money's going into here. This is growing in value all the time as you're buying in and adding to it, adding to it, adding to it, and all that interest is compounding over the long term. And this is a nice little system going around. And as this grows, maybe you're renting a yard like we were are still, and say, right, I want to buy my own yard. We're paying 70 grand a year to rent this yard, like 6 grand a month. I could buy my own yard for 500 grand and only pay 2.5 grand a month, but I don't have the money to do it. But actually I've got all this money in the trading account on a 500 grand yard. It'd be owner occupied, so you might put 10 to 20% in, so you need 50 to 100 grand. You've built this up to 50 to 100 grand. Your SIP then lends the money to AC Tyres. AC Tyres buys the yard, and then AC Tyres pays the interest back to the SIP every month for, say, 2.5, 3 grand a month. So it's still making a profit for the SIP, and AC Tyres is still paying less in rent. So that's the first one, and that'll be your first massive win. Well, your first win is to start doing this at the top, but your next win is to get a tyre, not a tyre business, don't want one of those. Is to get a business that's covering your living costs and everything else. And then once you're up and running, maybe get another business going. And then as you get a knack for doing it, you can start more and more businesses with an idea of having one that you could build and sell. So maybe grow this one, grow to sell. And then what I'm doing, which is slightly different, is I've always wanted a farm. So my idea is now I want to own a farm, not a working farm with loads of cows on it and getting up in the morning milking them, but a nice farmhouse, loads of outbuildings around it, like some big sheds on there, and then maybe a few bits and bobs, whatever, polytunnels, grey room food, all that kind of stuff, that kind of off-grid, like maybe it's got some stream on it for hydroelectric. We've got solar, wind. You can live off-grid with all this, and it would be pretty nice. Now, the money I'm earning at the moment, I can't afford to buy like what could be over £1 million farm. Let's say it's £1 million for make life easier. So £1 million farm. But because I've got this business and I'm already paying rent on a yard, and because I've got these other businesses, my plan now is to use the profits from the tyre business. That'll allow us to get a bigger mortgage for our own personal mortgage. So I need to find a farm, split the title, make an offer on it, get it accepted and all that, split the title of the farm. So now me and my partner will own this personally. So we own that, and that's protected. That's going to have a mortgage on it. So we're going to use the equity we've got in our existing house as a deposit. We're going to split the title. This part of the farm is ours. We own it personally. And then the outbuildings and the land I can then buy with Somerville property. So let's say the house value, if we split it, so say that's 500k. So we're going to need a deposit on that. Let's say we put 100 grand down on that. 100 grand deposit. And, you know, stamp duty and all that stuff as well. But the basic idea is buy the farm, put a deposit down on that, and then what I've been doing for Somerville property has been is going to be used to purchase the other part of the farm, the land area and all these buildings, and then all the money that AC Tyres is paying out on rent, which is about 70 grand a year, which is a lot, and then ERP, which is an online business, so this just needs storage space that can go in a little shed. If you get over it needs to be over 12 acres. That's the magic numbers. If you get over 12 acres, then you can build your own shed, because you need it for farming and farm equipment and all this stuff, and looking after the animals, or if you've got animals. So I'm going to move on ERP, which pays rent to AC Tyres, because that's within AC Tyres yard. EBF pays rent to AC Tyres. So we're going to move it all onto the farm, buy the outbuildings. I've then got all my businesses on this farm. I can run the recycling business, the rubber, fuel business, all off here. All that rent that these companies, they'll all start paying rent to Somerville property. So the money will go into Somerville property from AC Tyres, from ERP and EBF. All that paying to there, and the mortgage will go out of there. But we'll still make a profit from all the rent. Will go into there. Somerville property still make a profit, and I can now buy a farm that's over £1 million, because I've got these businesses, and I'm only earning £1 grand a month plus some dividends going into there. But because these are making money and showing profits, then there's security there for the banks to say, oh yeah, actually this guy's doing all right, this business is doing well. We can see he's going to save 70 grand a year. This company's going to save, say, 15 grand a year. This one's going to save 5 grand a year. We can easily afford to pay the mortgage on this and this. All is well. And then that will be the end goal. And then we get to a stage where once we've got a farm, then we've got other businesses that we can add to it. It won't just be like, great, I've got a farm, don't need to work. It'll be like, what can we do on the farm? We could do like a farm shop, glamping pods, these outbuildings get converted to Airbnb. Hopefully we'll have enough acreage to split areas off to maybe grow, to have forests, growing wood as a crop, maybe fast growing fuels like willow and stuff like that. We could have an area on the farm where we've got polytunnels and we're growing fruit and veg and doing, or maybe even they're in sheds and we're doing vertical farming, growing like I don't know, like high-end mushroom farming, like lion's mane mushroom. We've got water, we could create electricity, solar panels, you know, the list goes on. You could do metal detecting on the thing, rent that out. You could have a little areas for woodlands and walks and do whatever you want. Dog walking area, dog breeding. I've got a list of about 20 different ideas for the farm. A nice little farm shop, and it'd be and also not just the fact there's loads of extra businesses you can put on, but it'd be a very nice life. This getting up in the morning, going to see how the lads are doing in one of the businesses, like the fuel business, how the order's doing on this. I can be sat in the office checking on all this stuff, and I'm just wandering around the farm thinking of ideas what we can do next. So a bit slightly off plan there, but I'll get back to this bit, this massive mess. So another thing I'd add here, after you get to a job, you need to start a business. This is probably the biggest questions everyone will have. What business am I going to do? How am I going to start it? How am I going to grow it? I don't know anything about anything to do with that. There's loads of different ways you can do that. If you want to get a basic understanding, like Sam Kidd does the YouTube for trading, he's also got a company called the WAP, which is wap.org, and that is all to do with starting a business. Again, no referral links or anything like that. But there's loads of content there. I was one of the first members of the WAP when it first started. He did like beta testing. Excuse me. So I've been in the WAP for years and years and years, and since joining the WAP, I've grown from just having one business that was perhaps doing 400,000 maybe at the time, maybe a bit less, to growing that to over 1 million. Starting another one, starting another one, starting another one. And in between these that I've done alright, that are starting to grow, I also had other ones. I had a pen subscription business. That's called Pen Posty. And all these other importing Mexican, Italian pizza ovens, like from Mexico, ironically. Used to sell those with a friend. It just gives you ideas, like, and there's loads of different people in this community where they'll just help you. Just post stuff in there. I'm in the group as well, like, so there's a Facebook group. I don't think it's much a month, maybe 20 quid, maybe, I don't know. I've not looked for ages, but it's worth a look. And also, if you want some advice, just give me a shout, like, put in a comment. I'm literally doing this to try and help people. So put a comment in, or I'll put my email address in the video. Send me an email, and to prove that I'm not wasting my time, please like and, well, I'm not bothered about likes, but subscribe, just so I know that if someone watching it and they're getting some value from it, because then I'll do another one. One of my biggest problems is consistency. I've found out about myself. So if you look on YouTube, probably videos of me popping up, starting something. I'm going to do this, and then I'm just like, just carry on doing what I'm doing with all this stuff because I'm busy enough. But I stopped doing stuff because people don't respond, and I think, well, no one's watching it, so what's the point? But if you're interested, if you send me an email and say, I'm interested in starting a business, I've got no funnels to send you in, you're not selling you anything. What if you just want to chat and just say, I don't know where to start? I'll happily just back and forth on emails or phone call, whatever you want. Just let me know what you need help with, and I'll help. Easy as that. If you want a good starting place for where to start a business, I mean, there's obviously a lot of information about Chat GPT and AI and OpenAI, Mid-Journey and all this kind of stuff that you can do at the moment, which is growing and growing. And there's some really easy like wins on there, like designing products, imagery, writing stories, I don't know, print on demand stuff where you can make your own image, sell a load of printed t-shirt. There's loads of stuff you can do. But I'm not really into that kind of stuff. What I would do if I wanted to get some ideas, and every time I set up a new supplier in one of these businesses, I always say, oh, I'll pop over and get the first order. I'll come and collect it and say hello. So I'll go over onto this guy. I've just done it. Just bought some these like wood chips that we're selling, which is another example. There's literally a guy I'm buying it off that's buying bulk load of like wood pellets. He's buying them in container load, and he's literally just putting them into small bags, getting like a 500 kilo bag, putting them into 20 kilo bags, and selling them and making a margin. Easy job. Just got a hopper. Just got a big hopper. I saw him doing it. I was like, oh, what an easy business. But he's doing alright, you know. Nice bloke, doing alright. Bulk it in, little handle on here, into the bags, put them on a pallet, sell them per item, per 20 kilos instead of per 500. There's loads of stuff you can do that for. But as I went to this guy anyway to go and get his products, went and said hello there, and then I'm on this industrial estate, and he's got wagons unloading all that, and I always look out for who's delivering, where's it coming from, what products have they got. Even on the motorway, like, oh, what's that, where's it going, where's it come from. That's the kind of mentality, like the kind of thought you need to be in. When I was on here speaking to him, I said, oh yeah, we're doing this, and we've also got this rubber product. He said, oh, there's a company just around the corner, they do playground climbing frames and stuff. They make their own. So alright, brilliant. So I went and saw them, got their details, so now I can start selling their stuff on the website, on the Rubber Products website, because it's to do with like kids' playgrounds and stuff. And then just have a look. Go on, literally drive to an industrial estate and look at all the businesses, what they're doing, what are they selling, how are they making money. Are they just buying stuff in bulk and flogging it out? Like what are they making stuff? If you can just buy stuff in bulk, repack it, sell it out again, there's loads of ideas. Just look on Google Maps, find all your industrial estates around the area, just drive around. So many crazy people doing it at the moment on YouTube, like taking videos, that guy that goes around with the drones. You don't have to go that in depth, but you could literally don't know what that was. You literally just go around, do your eat. I'm just interested what's going on around here. And if you're thinking, I want to start a business, well, I've got no money, well, you've got a job, you're putting money away, but you've got no money to start up, then you don't have to start by buying a load of stock in. Go and find a business. Let's say we've got to find a guy that's selling, I don't know. Let's say a guy that's selling fish tanks. This guy here, he buys in these amazing fish tanks from wherever, say Italy, for some reason. That's the fish. That's the little bubbles. He buys these fish tanks in, and he sells them out at wholesale, or he sells them on the line or whatever. So you've got no money. You can't say, I want to buy a pallet full of these. But what you can do is go in, say hello, be nice and polite. Hi, I'm interested in selling your products, just starting out. I was wondering if you can give me some prices on all your products, and would it be okay, or maybe go away, just leave it at that for now. Can I get a price list and all this stuff? And then go away, look at all the prices, do a bit of research online, what they're selling for, how much money can you make off them, and then knit back, say, I've been researching, I'm confident I can sell your product. Would it be okay, because I'm literally just starting out on this, would it be okay if I did smaller orders to start with? Maybe just buy one or two at a time, and then we'll grow to buy pallets as we grow. And if they say, oh no, we can't do that, say, okay, well, no problem. Well, instead, how about we do a referral system? So you could get the leads, you could be one advertising on Facebook Marketplace, or your own website, and he'll every time you get a sale, you pass it on to him. He does all the order fulfillment, and he pays you a percentage or a set fee. We'll give you £25 for every one you sell, something like that. You could go down that route, or you could just be like you could do like a drop ship, or you could just take the orders first and then just go and buy, or you could sell them in larger amounts, or loads of different ways. So find a place where you can get something from and sell it on. Now the important thing here is, once you get an idea of what you're going to do, you'll need to at some point build a website, if that's what the route you're going to go down. I've used a few different ones in the past, but I've used Wix, which was alright. I built ERP on Wix. I bought the tire one on Wix, but I am actually moving everything to Shopify. I've just started the new one, EBF, on a Shopify site, so it's well worth it to go on Shopify, sign up there. No links, no referral, no nothing like that. I just find it has more traffic and it's easier to use, and it works better with like your analytics, Google Analytics, and your merchant center if you're selling stuff for Google Shopping. I just find it works better. You can sell stuff on Amazon, there's all that kind of stuff, but I've been burnt by Amazon quite a few times where they couldn't verify a bank account because it was a tied account and not like a high street one. And I kept sending them the statements to prove that it's a proper bank and a proper business, and then they just closed that account down. He froze it, and then I think I had £5,000 in there, and I've never got that money back, and they won't even speak to me now, and I literally did nothing wrong. So I got bored with that. I thought, right, I'll start another account, the same one, because they're not speaking to me about setting that one up. Built that up to another 5 or 10 grand. They got a few payouts, and then another £5,000 got in there, and he said, oh, this is a duplicate account, we're keeping the money. So then he got another £5,000 off me. So I will use them again, but I just don't like the fact you can't speak to anyone there. They're just not for the sellers. So anyway, rant over. So that's Shopify. You can set this up for free, just to start with. Even if you haven't got any products, you don't know what you're doing, just go and set up a Shopify account and build a website. It won't cost you, I think maybe £1 a month, is it, or something at the moment? Set that up, build a site, and just pretend you're selling stuff. Build it all out, learn about all the back end of it, where the orders are, setting it all up. And then once you find a few products, you can add them to here, start driving traffic to here with Facebook and Google Shopping or whatever you want to do, and start making a few sales. Like the best feeling in the world is when you set up a Shopify store. Very first one. I've not had the feeling for ages, but when I set this one up, and I set it all up, and it only took me like a couple of days to set it all up, and then I had products on there, and then like a day later, maybe 2 days later, got that cha-ching, that sale, and it's like, oh, I love this, I miss this, like, and then you're away, you're like, right, I want more products. And I only started this in November. I think it's got about 50 products on there now, and it's doing I think we just started in November, did about £800 in November. December we did about 12 grand. January we messed it. We had a low stock on an item, so it dropped off a bit, but we did about 13 grand. That's just off this website, and this will be growing. So I want to get this up to about 50 grand a month, and it's only got 50 products on at the moment. So I'm going to keep growing that up, and keep going. And this might be something, once this has grown big enough, this could well, once it's moved onto the farm and it's growing and growing, once this is worth enough money, could they'll say, right, we've still got I don't know, 500 grand mortgage on the farm, build this up. A company like this, online retail, will sell for about 3 times profits. So right, we've got 500 grand, so it needs to make 150 grand, just over 150 grand a year, and you can sell it for 500 grand, and then that 500 grand will pay off the farm, or the land on the farm anyway. and then happy days. And by that time you've got another business that you're growing over here, business number 75 or whatever, business number 5, that's growing in the background, whatever that is, the lion's mane mushroom farmer or whatever it is, that's growing, and that'll start bringing in income. The Airbnb will be bringing in income. You'll not be as reliant on this. Sell that, chunk of money, either pay off the farm if you really want a bit of security, or 500 grand, bosh, into your SIP, into your ISA, and that is growing up and up and up in value. And now you've got some chunky money going in there, which, you know, 10% on 500 grand is 50 grand in it. If you do 10% in a year on that, then you're laughing, aren't you? So change to red just to try and brighten it up. So these are your main things to think about. You've got the WAP for businesses. You've got Siam Kid on YouTube, and then once you start making some money, or you've got some money from all your businesses, then start thinking about investing. If you've not got like a bit of chunky money, like 50 to 100 grand, probably not worth paying for it just yet. I joined this a while back, and I realized to be able to become a trader, you need a chunk of money to make the money. And there's no point going in if you've got a 2 grand account and you're paying £500 a month and you're going to make 10% a year on it. Not much point. But if you've got some chunky money, then it's worth going into there. I've not quite got chunky money yet, but I do enjoy. I use the tyre business, pays for the learning for this. So this is a business expense. I'm learning how to trade. I can use the money from the tyre business, put it in here, and make it grow. So it is a legitimate business expense. So if you've not got a job, get a job. 20% of the money goes into your ISA. Set up a HL, SIP, and an ISA. Then start building a business. You can go to the WAP to start your business, or ask me, please make me valid. I'd love to help anyone, so please do. Don't think you can't contact me, because you can. So stick a comment in and I'll reply. Email me if you want some specific help. Please subscribe. If the subscribers go up, then I'll carry on doing it. But if no one's asked, then there's no point me doing it, is there? So and then start your business journey. Start going around the local estates. I try and stay away from all the courses online and stuff, because I spent thousands, tens of thousands over the years doing all these courses, and you learn a bit, but for the money you're better off just find a product on a find a supplier somewhere on an industrial estate, someone that's making something, or bring it in bulk, and keep your eye out while you're there where they bring it in from. Maybe you can go straight to them. Then build a website, and then start letting everybody know. All your family and friends are your first customers, they say. So get to pass it out. This is what you're doing now. Here's your website. Please go on and like it and use it to buy whatever you want to buy. And then just keep growing. And even if this one does nothing, even if it just plods along and makes a few quid here and there, by the end of it, you would have learned how to build a working Shopify website. It wouldn't have cost you anything to build it. It'll cost you money to advertise and stuff, but that's okay. You can start by building up, learning how to build it, learn how to build a website. Then all this knowledge that you've got on building it, along the way you'll learn about Google Ads, which is all in the WAP, by the way, which is super cheap. Google Ads, analytics, Merchant Center. Merchant Center should have been a doctor. Shouldn't have this writing. Google Ads, analytics, Merchant Center. You'll learn about Facebook ads. You learn about everything to do with marketing, copywriting, blogs. If you want to do blogs, just go on Chat GPT that's OpenAI, open.ai I think it is, and you can just literally write me a blog about whatever your product is, or give me 10 good blog topics to write about fish tanks. Then I'll spit it all out, and then you take each one, stick them all in a Word document, set it back in, write me a 1,000-word blog about whatever topic it's suggested you do it. So I don't know, pH levels. If one of the ChatGPT says a good blog post would be pH levels of fish water, so then you go back and say, write me a 1,000-word blog on the pH level of fish water, and it'll do it for you. Then post it, go on to what is it called, Midjourney, get all your free images on there, use your images, stick them into your blog post with your AI generated blog stories. That'll boost all your SEO for your website. That'll start ranking. Try and become an authority on something, get in all the groups where people are, and get your name out there for you are now fish tank guy, for example, or whatever it'll be. Now, it's an interesting doodle. Could probably turn this into an NFT, sell it for 0 pence. Yeah, so you are. So here you are. This is you today. Follow the journey. What are you going to do? What have you got? Have you got a job? Yes or no? Have you got a business? Yes or no? Keep going. Like this so you can keep coming back. And if you want more, please ask. Okay, thanks a lot. I'll speak to you again.